He definitely doesn't want to try calling bluffs. He will force some force fields from his opponent and recall? Why did he cancel his pylon? Yeah, he did recall. Okay. So this hallucinated phoenix is just going to stay there. For no real reason. These roaches are going to try as soon as these force fields have dissipated. The lings will come in from behind, and he would realize, oh, my opponent has left. Even though I have been outside, I have had him surrounded this entire time. Must have used his recall. This means that there will not be energy for 2 photon overcharges, so it's very likely that Sue will go for a poke and see if he can shut down the 3rd. Actually, he will definitely go for that with all these extra lings that he built to defend. I just don't know when he's gonna... Or is he gonna attack from the left side? Yeah, so... Sue's hallucination... Zesta... Wow, I keep switching names with Tito. Oh... Zest is lost his hallucination, so he has no further confirmation on what is leaving the Zerg base, but his observer is now practically over the army, so that
spices things up a bit.
What?
That spices things up a bit.
Okay. They're virtually the same thing. Black pepper, white pepper. Yeah. Actually, white pepper is considerably better. Similarly, an observer is considerably better than an hallucination, because it won't just die on its own. And Sue is going to try and go through the rocks as he takes his 4th. He has a lot of lings here. And a good number of roaches. I'm not sure if he really wants to go this way, or if he's just... Okay, he is backing off. He, does he have roach speed? Yeah, he does. Well, he's gonna back off for now. And I think this is not the position he wants to be in, but it shouldn't be too bad for him. It's like, okay, I have all these units that I didn't want, but now I can defend any harass. That's basically the thinking. He is still trying to go for some, well, he's posturing like he wants to go for some counter-aggression, but he's just not finding... he's not committing to anything. Which is perfectly understandable. The Spire is scouted, I believe. Yes, he sees the Spire. So he knows that the potential for Mutalisk is definitely on the map. He doesn't know like how much gas his opponent has, or the fact that Mutalisks are being produced. Roaches and Lings are going to poke and then back out. There's actually a ton of Zerg on the other side, so I think that was largely a distraction. This Warp Prism is gonna come in and attack the Spire as all this is going on. Force fields are good, and they're going to zone this out. The Zealots should get this Spire, as there's not a whole lot here, and it does fall. With that falling, Sue is going to be forced to do something. He doesn't like have to, but it will be very painful if he does not. This is actually kind of nice. He's pulled his opponent's army to one end, as well as forced out a photon overcharge. So now the third is like pretty wide open. He's not attacking the third just yet because he senses weakness in his opponent. I think he wants to bait out force fields first, and then go take the third. I don't think he wants to like stick around here. He loses a lot of lings unnecessarily. Maybe if he sends those lings to attack and then goes for the third. There he goes now. There are cannons, but there's not really enough. I'm pretty sure that third is going down. There's a lot of Zerg here. Well, if he doesn't target it, it's not going to go down. He's actually wants to fight the army, which is kind of ambitious, I say. The roaches have been force fielded out very effectively, leaving only the mutas here to challenge stalkers. That's not what you want. There's a guardian shield activated, so it'll soak up the glaive. Roaches are still trapped behind the force fields. Those are not escaping. I don't feel like this is going so well for Sue. He's traded a lot for kind of nothing. Yeah, he's gotten some probes, but like Zest is gonna be on +3 attack. He's mixing in phoenixes to deal with the mutas, which, I mean, it's not like there's gonna be a ton of mutas to contest the phoenixes since the Spire went down. Warp Prism is still active too. I think it was trying for the Roach Warren, but that was not going to happen. Queen will take another shot at it. I will note that the one thing that is kind of good for Sue is that there is only one Colossus on the map. So, like, you kill that and the Protoss DPS falls by, like, half. So that's nice, I guess. But, I mean, he's gonna have a tough time holding this. It's, as I said, it's doable. It's just, it's tough. Gosh. Because there is only one Colossus. He does have a sizable ling count, so if he does kill that Colossus, he does have the counter to the composition. But he has to kill the Colossus, and there are Phoenixes zoning out his mutas. Never mind the Stalkers that also will do the same thing. I feel like he needs Corruptors. The Spire has just now finished, so, I mean, in theory, if he can buy himself some time, get himself, like, 7 Corruptors, then he can kill the Colossus, and has the right composition to win the game, but I just... How much time is Death gonna give him? I mean, if he sets up a... Oh, is he just gonna go for a counterattack? That could be interesting. Mutas are so like, Terrans are like the race that you don't want to base race because their buildings float. Mutas are like the unit you don't want to be base racing against because they fly so fast. So like Protoss just don't like base races. No, it's not that simple, because Protoss armies are have the highest well, on average Protoss armies have the highest DPS, so that gives them another type of advantage in a base race. But yeah, he's just gonna give up his natural and his main and go for a counter attack. Which, I mean, I suppose that's the best move. He can't engage that army since he's not gonna get Corruptors out anytime soon. Or at least not soon enough. I mean, soon is relative. These Phoenixes are trying to pick off the Mutalisks, which is a really good idea considering that the Mutalisks are the primary threat to the base race, but the Phoenixes are dead now due to bad micro. Like, you normally don't say that about Korean Protoss, but like, he could have kited that better. I think he was wanting to be more aggressive with his army, and so then he was microing his army instead of working on the... See, this is the other reason why mutas are so good. Look at that. He kills all the fleeing probes with his lings and mutas. So like, how is he supposed to survive the base race if he doesn't have any probes to build stuff? Some more probes are going to get out, but the lings and mutas are on it again. That probe is trying to get away, but it will never get to the army. Safety is too far. And there's another probe! It's sprinting! I think it's actually going to get... Oh no, that's a Phoenix. Never mind. See what I mean? What are these probes supposed to do? They can't get out of here. I mean, in theory, if he had a warp prism, he could have picked up... now I'm being incredibly hypothetical. He could have picked up probes in the warp prism, and then use his Phoenixes to zone out the mutas while his warp prism gets to the army. But, I mean, who's going to think of that? It's like, who does that? Other than me. He did manage to get a probe somehow. I don't know how this got here. But, like, that is great. That means he has a fighting chance. Now, granted, based on situation, he has to defend this base for quite some time because there's just nothing he can do. Sue is on 3 bases. 1 is just to keep his stuff hidden. That's what this one over here is for. That's just to hide the fact that he has stuff. I imagine he might start to hide some... oh no, he's cancelled it, realizing he doesn't need it. But that's what it was for, in case you guys were wondering. Hallucination is going to spot the 4th that was never touched, just evacuated. And the drones are coming back. Army supply is vastly in favor of Sue, but army composition is in favor of Zest. So this means that if Sue can get a good spread, he can challenge this Protoss force, but he has to get the spread. It is very important that he does that, because if he gives Sue too much time, or Zest too much time, Zest could do something. What that something is, I don't know. Maybe DTs. yeah, probably would be DTs, as there's no lair.